Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to take the very first session, and I've decided to talk about a little about the factor pricing. And so today we will discuss about the very initial case that where the perfect competition is present in both the product market and the factor market. So, in case of the factor market, for what is meant by perfect competition? Perfect competition means that in case of perfect competition, the producer is the price taker. In case of perfect, also in this case, there are a large number of buyers and a large number of sellers, and the neither the buyer nor the seller can influence the price. So, and in case of in the product market, we know that is that one producer is producing good X. So, in the product market, the price of the particular good is determined. And in case of the factor market, say the factor means the labor and capital, which are usually used in case of producing any particular good. So, the price of that particular product is for in case of labor, the wage, and in case of capital, the rent is determined in case of in the factor market. So, let's consider one producer. He or she is producing good X, and with the use with capital, with the labor and capital, but and production function is like X equals to the function of labor and the capital. And as it's in the short run, so we're considering capital is kept constant. So we know that for the equilibrium, any firm produces for the profit motive, and also we can know that the equation of the profit is pi equals to total revenue minus total cost, and then because total revenue is P into X. P means that's the price of the per unit of the quantity, and X is the number amounts produced, the total quantity produced. So P into X is the total revenue of the product. And as it is the case of the perfect competition, so the price is kept constant, and total cost means the W into L plus R into K. And as the K is constant, capital is not just not a variable factor, so we are considering K bar. And WL means total expenditure on the labor and total expenditure on K capital. And W is the per unit wage rate, and R is the per unit the price of the capital. So we know that X is the production. X is, as we know that X is the the production function. So is the amount or the, you can say it like the quantity, amount of quantity produced. So we can write is that F equal to F into F function of this P into uh, function of L comma K bar. And right, and now for the for profit, maximizing the profit, we can differentiate the both side of this particular equation with respect to labor. So we can write that price P into, we can differentiate with respect to labor, so we'll get del X by del L plus, as this becomes 0, because if we differentiate, if we consider that X into del P bar by del L, it becomes 0. And considering minus W plus 0, this is the first order condition. 0 means because if we differentiate K bar with respect to L, we will get 0. That's why considering 0, this is the first order condition. So, and then we set the first order condition equals to 0, and we will get the P into del X by del L minus W equals to 0. And we know that del X by del L is marginal productivity of labor, MPL. MPL means what? MPL means that MPL means that this is difference between the total productivity of labor, that is MPL means that if we increase the labor, then how much how much that particular labor will contribute in case of increase in the total product. So that is the difference between the TPL. This is MPL. This is if we add one extra unit of labor in the production process, then how much extra unit of output the labor can able to contribute to the production process. So P into MPL equals to W. And we know that P into MPL, this is P into MPL, and as in case of the perfect completion, we can see that price equals to average revenue equals to marginal revenue in case of perfect competition. So P equals to P into MPL equals to W, and P equals to, as equals to P equals to MR, we can write P in the position of place of AP, we can write MR. So it means that mr into mpl equals to w, and mr into mpl is vmpl, that is the value of marginal productivity of labor. This equals to w, and this is the this vmpl is the demand side, and this is supply side. Now let's in the diagram we will show about the what is vmpl. So in case of vmpl, in the vertical axis we are taking the vmpl, and the horizontal axis we are taking labor. And we know that as it's a perfect competition, so the supply curve of labor is perfectly elastic. So it's horizontal. Perfectly elastic means that as we increase the higher the more labor, if for the this units of 0 units of labor, the supply of wage will be w, and for the more than 0, any point at any point, if we increase the amount of labor, we increase employ more labor, the wage rate will remain same. This is the so that's why it's perfect competition and a wage rate is fixed. And this is the supply curve of labor. And the VMPL is, and this is the VMPL, how it's drawn. And this is the equilibrium, and this is the equilibrium labor, and this is the equilibrium wage rate. And the left side of this, we can see that demand for labor is greater than supply of labor, which means that as the demand is greater than supply, so the employer should hire more. Employer should hire more labor. Employer should hire more labor. And the and this side, as the supply of labor is more than the demand for labor, so employer will fire more labor. That's why this is a stable equilibrium. And now this is so as of now, this is the case till now. What we have whatever we have discussed is about the one variable case. This is the one variable factor because capital is held constant and only labor is a variable factor. Now let's consider that when both labor and capital are variable. So when both the factors are variable, then we can see we can draw it like this, that as the above figure. This is the VMPL, and the vertical axis we are measuring, and the horizontal axis we are measuring labor, amounts of labor used. So here what we can get is that if we consider this is the wage rate, and this is the wage rate, and this is the supply curve of the labor in case of perfect competition. And this is the equilibrium wage rate, and this is the equilibrium supply L1, and this is the equilibrium E1. Now if the somehow there is a wage cut, and reduces from W1 to W2. So as the wage rate reduces, so we can see that this is the wage rate. So we can see that as the rate increases, so this the demand for labor increases, demand to E12. Demand for labor and new equilibrium is E12, and this is the increase in the quantity demand of labor. We know that the difference between the quantity demand is case of that if this is the let's draw this in this case we are determining this is the price and this is the quantity. So if the this is the demand curve, this is the demand curve. So if the if the price reduces, this increase in demand, this is called the increase in the quantity demand. And in case that if the other if there is a if this is the say this is the price, this is the price and this is the quantity. If there is other things than price, if in case of say income increases, as the income increases, so the demand increases. That means there will be a shift in demand curve. So there will be a shift in demand curve. So this is the shift in demand curve, because the price is not reducing in that case, but there is a shift in the demand curve. So this is called the increase in the demand, and this is the increase in the quantity demand, and this is the increase in the demand. So in that case, this is the also same, that in this particular case, from this to this is the L1 to L1 2. This is the increase in the quantity demand. But when the wage reduces, the labor is the amount of quantity amount of labor is increasing. So producer says that the producer think that to as the labor increases, so let's increase the more capital. So as the amount of capital is increasing, then the producer thinks that as the capital increases, to use the more capital, we have to employ the more labor. So producer will again employ more labor as they will increase more labor. So that's why, because they are now more labor, so this E1, now the equilibrium shifts from E1 to E1 to E2. That now they hires up to this amount of labor L2. This is the new equilibrium E2. So E1 to E1 E1 from E1 to E1 to and then from E1 to E2. So this is the new equilibrium. Now we can what we can get is that so here the other things the other factors other than the factors other than which is due to the other factors other than which where due to the increase in the capital the demand for labor is increasing. That's why there is a shift in the VMPL curve from VMPL 1 to this is the VMPL 2. So joining these two demand curves E1 and E2 we get this demand curve. So in case of the two variable, that's more than one variable factor, the VMPL curve is not the demand curve. So the demand curve is like this. And in case of the one variable factor, this is the VMPL curve is the demand curve. So so today we have this is that's all for today. And now in the next session we will discuss about the imperfect competition in the factor product market and perfect competition in the factor market. And till that, stay tuned. Thank you.